Hello everyone, today we'll be reviewing our lesson on psychological development, which as we all know is the development of our cognitive, emotional, intellectual, and social capabilities over the span of our lives. We are all aware that there are 8 stages of psychological development, so I would now like to go around the room and have everyone name or explain at least one of these 8 stages. Maddie, would you like to start us off by explaining the first 2 stages?
Yes, trust and mistrust. Starts from whenever you're born to your first year. This stage, you'll need someone to help you shape your learning so that you may trust the world. And the second stage is autonomy versus shame and doubt. This is from your first year to your second year. If kids are allowed to do things on their own, they get autonomy. But if a parent does everything for you, then you're wrong, which is doubting your abilities.
Would anyone like to explain initiative versus guilt?
I would. I believe that it's the first stage of the psychosocial development.
Can I take over, please?
Go ahead.
Okay, it's actually the 3rd stage, and it happens from whenever they're 3 to 5, and it's learning to initiate activities and play. So the children are trying out how to be leaders and how to, interact with one another.
Oh, you're right, I'm sorry.
Well, I do know that the stage of intimacy versus isolation in early adulthood is just where young adults have evolved and identified what they want to do in their life, and then either they go into relationships or marriage, and if they don't, then that's when they usually start isolating themselves. So I do know that one.
That's right. Good job, guys. So who would like to go next? Diego.
I'll go next. My stage is confidence versus inferiority, which is also known as industry versus inferiority. It's the 4th stage of Erickson's theory. It spans from when a person is 6 years old to their puberty phase. This stage in a person's life is kind of like all the others in that they have opposed feelings. Specifically though, my stage is about whether a child feels useful and develops a sense of worth, while on the other hand it could make them feel worthless or inferior. This is mainly based on their accomplishments at the time or the skills they are learning to reach those accomplishments.
Okay, now who would want to explain the next stage?
Me.
Go ahead.
The identity versus role confusion is the 5th stage of Erickson's theory, and the stages 12 through 19. The stage is characterized by the question of who I am, during which time they are conflicted with dozens of values and ideas of who they should be and what they should think. Yeah.
Would anyone like to explain the generativity versus stagnation stage?
I think I know a little bit about it.
Go ahead.
It's like mid-adulthood, to where you start thinking back on your life and what you've succeeded or what you haven't succeeded. And then stagnation is just kind of where you start midlife crisis, 40 to 60 years old.
Awesome. And that would bring us into the last stage. Hannah, would you like to tell us more about that?
Yeah. So the last stage is integrity versus despair, and that ranges from 60 to your death. And this is the last stage. It is the evaluation of your entire life. And so the integrity means look back with satisfaction. And you see accomplishment, but despair is to look over your life with anger and frustration and regrets. So you either feel satisfied or not.
Awesome.
Everyone leave. Go ahead.
In summary, there are 8 stages of Erickson's psychosocial development, which include mistrust, versus trust, autonomy versus shame, initiative versus guilt, industry versus inferiority, identity versus role confusion, intimacy versus isolation, generativity versus stagnation, and ego integrity versus despair.